The incredible culmination of creative genius and technical know-how met innovation and advancement at the helm of Zimbabwe's largest production house, Mighty Movies. Elements Genesis was born. Directed by Kuzai Sadomba and starring the local talents of Tapiwa Gandia, Tapiwa Mavindidze, Chiedza Sadomba, Louis David, Connie Moyo, Robert Adolfo, and the Econet guy himself, John Dennison. Animated at SM Movies using innovative Zimbabwe animation technology, the Avispa visual package. Elements Genesis truly is a combination of Zimbabwean, African, and worldly firsts. For the next hour, you shall meet the cast that is behind the country's first 3D CG animated film and their thoughts, experience, and feelings of the journey. This is the making of Elements Genesis. Meet the cast.
Hey, sweetie Fanita, I get you the whip, my little mamacita.
Okay, I act as Helium, and there's various things I like about Helium. I always imagine about Helium is the color, like orange, you know, and Helium is usually used as a gas that would have sub balloons, which I like. But I don't know what I don't like about it. Because I really feel that sometimes the sun, you know, is part of Helium's characteristics. So maybe if you say burns or something, maybe that would be like summertime, you know. It's hot.
Okay, I act as Kuprum. Kuprum is a very bad girl. In other ways, I would like to say she's evil. I'm not like that in real life. She's someone who likes causing chaos. She's very manipulative. She's very controlling. And she's a gecko. She likes to be in control. She doesn't take no for an answer. She's very convincing. What I like about Kuprum is his...
my character is Hydrogyra. She's very motherly, which is something very different from anything that I've ever had to do. But she's a strong-willed character to a certain extent, which I feel reflects what I'm like. So I think that's what I enjoy most about her, because there are a lot of things that from her I'm able to pick up from myself. And I think even vice versa, even being able to then act as her, I've been able to do that more so because our characters are very similar. It's only the aspect of her being very motherly that makes it very difficult to then be able to connect with her because, well, obviously I'm not a mother, so that makes it a bit difficult.
She's someone who doesn't just sit back, you know, and look, but instead she's someone who fights and, you know, yeah.
Okay.
In the next group of characters, we meet a king, a heroine, and a best friend. This is the making of Elements Genesis. Meet the cast.
I actually play two characters in this film. There's Lady Bromine and Chlorine. Lady Bromine starts off at the beginning of the movie. She's just sort of to, I guess, introduce the story. And she's very interesting. She's about 100 years old. She's motherly and kind. I like her just for the character, yeah. And then for Chlorine now is a younger girl. She starts the movie as a youngling, what they call children, and then she grows up to be able to participate in the Syzygy tournament. I like both of the characters actually.
Well, I play actinium. Now, according to the table of elements, actinium is a very rare but radioactive element. So that's been quite a challenge. How do you play radioactive? Are you glowing, or do people keep their distance from you? But actinium, of course, is a king, and a noble king, and obviously respected by the people he rules. He is the overall king of the whole of the elementals. So I had to have a certain authority, dignity, but at the same time a father image. I think he is the uncle of his champion, and he's looking to his nephew to carry on the dynasty, you might say, in the hope that their son will become the new king when my life, which is thousands of years, ends.
I act as Florine, and Florine is a very, what can I say? Florine is a very daring girl. She's very bold, strong, and
well, I act as Salfa, and Salfa is we first see her as a very young girl who is so excited about the Syzygy and has a hero as Lord Oram.
She doesn't like to be bullied or tossed around, or she doesn't like people getting onto her nerves, I think. She's loving and caring as well.
Looks up to Carbon, the father, and one day she hopes to be like that hero. And what I like about Salfa is she manages to deceive everyone. Not so many people are able to tell that she is like a villain, and that only comes out as a shock to everyone else.
Some of the cast members gave their voice to two characters.
Well, I'm playing two characters, Osmium and Neon. And Neon is the major character who plays the longer role. Neon is a young noble, a very intelligent, adventurous, and at the same time is evil. Osmium is an old character who just appears whenever they're about to be like fights.
Okay, I act as Argon and Krypton. They're both nobles. Argon is usually the most talkative of both of these guys, because he listens most of the time, and he respects Helium, and Krypton is mostly reserved. He doesn't talk much. He just talks when it's almost necessary. That's one thing that I have in common, and they're always at the same time. They're always, at the same moment. They always talk at the same
Neon is very, very intelligent, young noble, as I said. I like his intelligence, moves so quick, responds to situations in a fast manner. But at the same time, as I said, evil. I hate that part because it's maintained throughout me.
Okay, I act as Scandium. She's titanium made. She is a very strong-willed and brave woman, considering she is, her mate is in a foreign person, and they've got their problems. She doesn't get the affection that she needs from him. But because she's brave, she knows she needs to be there for him. So, yeah, a bit sad here and there. But
More to come on the making of Elements Genesis as we take a break. We'll be right back. You are watching the making of Elements Genesis, Meet the Cast. In our next group of characters, we meet cast members doing opposite roles and the main protagonist. This is the making of Elements Genesis, Meet the Cast.
Okay, I actually played two characters in this film. I played the part of Carbon, who's a villain and a baddie, and I loved playing that part. And then I played the part of Oxygen, who is such a contrast, and she's sweet and peace-loving and amazing. But the two of them happen to be married. I don't know how that works out, but I enjoyed playing the two characters because it's helped me to develop two different styles of acting. So yeah, I enjoyed playing Carbon and Oxygen.
I play an elemental named Orm, which is gold. He's a teacher.
I'm double casted. I'm Xenon and I'm Thorium. Yeah, I like everything about Xenon because he's quite close to my real life character. Quite a cool guy, yet very I wouldn't say yeah. But Thorium, I really found it hard. I don't like much about.
Getting into character, I actually took some inspiration from another actor in the movie, John Dennison, because he's got that statesman-like aura about him. So I just listen to him talk a lot and then try and put that into my character.
It's just the guy is more like a royal guy, and I'm not really into that. I don't know much about that, so it's bad for me.
The time has come for you to become king. But the illegitimate has grown immeasurably in power, and the nobles are behind him.
And then there were 3 cast members left out to introduce, but starring 2 roles.
I acted Zinc. Zinc is a very interesting character. Why? Because I'm like the trainee of Platinum, being held by Kupro. So in a way, I'm a bad guy, but at the same time, I'm being a good guy to what? To Platinum. Why? Because he really needs to learn how to fight as a champion, because he has to be one of the champions since he's like one of the kings.
My name is Tavo Shake and I play the younger Platinum. That's obviously the younger version of Platinum, who's the main character. He's a young elemental who wants to become a champion among champions. So that makes his character quite ambitious, and like he enjoys life and wants to find out more about it, because with this mystery surrounding his father, he wants to find out more, and he thinks he can do this by becoming a champion of the king.
Well, knowing Zinc, he's a tough guy, and I'm not pretty much of a tough guy in real life. But so what I did is I had to deepen up my voice a little bit. I had to be firm and straightforward, no going around beating around bushes. Yeah, that's how I.
I'm playing Platinum. I'm Platinum. Well, I like everything about Platinum, from the role name itself. I mean, hey, that's Platinum. Probably the most expensive element in this whole. Yeah. Platinum, young. Well, there's the young Platinum, but Platinum is young. The older Platinum is quite young. Strong character, I believe. Strong physically as well. Well trained, just determined. He's got certain set goals in the story, particularly to get into the CCG and find his father.
More to come on the making of Elements Genesis, as the cast share more of their experience of the making, plus who are their favorite characters other than their characters. This is the making of Elements Genesis. Meet the cast. We'll be right back.
Hey, she picks me up, she holds it down. She is really impressed with the girl. We're looking fine, she's at the top of town. Good looking all around, she picks me up.
And we are back. This is the making of Elements Genesis. Meet the cast.
Well, I guess most of it was just a matter of getting into character. Read the script and get into the character that's being portrayed on the script as much as you can.
Wow. It wasn't that easy, to be honest with you, because you'll be comparing your real life, and you're trying to be someone in the movie, and you're trying to adjust. It's not easy, it's not simple, but at the end of the day, I think I did try to be Kupru, to be that evil guy, So
Okay.
to be that evil girl. Yeah.
Okay.
You are watching the Making of Elements Genesis Meet the Cast. Let's find out who are our
That's a
cast
lot of
favorite
pressure, 'cause
characters
some people look at
other
it.
than their characters.
But I'll have to go for.
When I mentioned last week, it was helium.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, as you
I
mentioned
feel
last
like
week.
helium is.
Warren is cool because obviously in the movie I don't know he's my father until I think the very end, but then as a character he's very he's got this atmosphere around him that gives him the feeling, you know, that he's one of those old characters that really stand out in the movie because he's the king's champion, but then afterwards he just disappears and there's all this mystery around him, but then he comes back and, you know, it really makes the movie interesting.
Your character should be Helium. You know, Helium is one of the nobles as well.
It's kind of like a wise guy. I've got a certain. I can't wait to see him actually. He's one of those older guys, you know. It's like a wizard. He sounds, from the way I know him from the script only. I haven't seen him yet.
Yeah.
But I look forward to seeing him.
Okay. Tell us about your experience of the making of the film. What would you miss most and what would you like to do again?
This interview is kind of cool. I enjoy it. I enjoy this. This is like something totally new. On the side of film that I do. I mean, but that's quite interesting. A lot of the stuff I'm doing right now, I'm doing for the first time. So that in itself is quite an exciting experience. And as usual, it's the experience of meeting new people every time you're on a different production. You know, I always like to do things that I don't do my networking skills.
Oh, so you actually have enjoyed meeting young Platinum?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's right next to you.
So I grew to really like the guy because I'm always on his side, and you know, so I really like the, you know, if you're on the same side, if you're on the same team, you know, you tend to like the other character as well. And but although sometimes, you know, we have our own antagonistic.
Well, Scania, because she's my sister in the same. Yeah, and that's the only family that I have, so I mean, she has to be my best.
Neon, my fellow noble. Yeah, it's my favorite character.
Characters. I like Zena. He's always with Neon. And besides, it's being played by my best friend. So I like.
Okay.
Lady Bromine, because she's got a cool accent, and it kept throwing me off. But yeah, it's
Platinum, I'd say, because he's a hero, and we watched him evolve from a young little lost element to a hero and a good champion. So I think Platinum is my favorite character, other than my own characters.
I think I'll say Nigerian. Well, though I shouldn't be liking her, but yeah, because she said to go through a lot, you know, having her mate going away and raising a kid on your own. You know, I think it's good women power.
Like a good person, but in the end, like doing not so nice things.
Now, who's your favorite character from the film other than your own?
I'll say Platinum, because of the courage he has from a young boy up to when he's an adult, of wanting to find his father and managing to fight like the greatest people who have been in the City tournament, and being so courageous till he managed to do that.
Okay. Now, your experience of the making of the film, if you can just tell us what you...
Well, unfortunately, I'm only in the film for the first couple of minutes, so I don't really get to interact with the others. I obviously like Orum because he is my champion, and he's my favorite nephew. I like the character because he is a hero, He's a champion, and he's also, I think, he's a many-faceted character, because having watched the rehearsals now, I realise that there's a lot more behind Orem than just being gold. He has his bad side and his good side, and we never really know until near the end of the movie exactly what he's up to, because he disappears. So there's a bit of mystery as well.
Okay, I have to confess that I have a liking for bad guys. So my favorite is Sulfur. She is diabolical in the way she goes about her things. So I like that about her.
Okay.
Okay, I'd say Carbon. He's a baddie. What I like about him is funny. He's someone who doesn't hold back, but just says what he thinks. Even if everyone disapproves, he doesn't care.
Okay.
You know? Yeah. Though they have to say platinum.
I like the nobles. I like the nobles, maybe more so because they're entertaining, and I think when they play their characters, they do it very well. So that's very enjoyable. I think.
Okay, the other character who was fascinated me was actually Platinum. Platinum, I don't know, maybe because I like the element of platinum.
Okay.
So that's the other character.
Aiden as well, when when he's acting as his character, he seems to do it very well. He seems to have really eased into his character, so that's also very enjoyable, even to just listen to him when he's, or watch him when he's recording. It's always very good.
More to come on the making of Elements Genesis as the cast share more of their experience of the making, plus would they want the movie to have a sequel. This is the making of Elements Genesis. Meet the cast. We'll be right back.
I stand here in a kingdom of exiles, but I can sense it. All is not well. Chaos is soon going to reign. Ether is to be tested.
Welcome back. You're watching the making of Elements Genesis Meet the Cast. So what was the experience of the making of the movie through the eyes of the cast, and what did they like and dislike?
Wow.
I think for me, I like to do this again. What I really liked is the company, and for me, it was a very big experience, because this is totally different from what I used to do in other projects. This is like studio recording and stuff for me. And for me, I remember the other day I was shooting my first shoot, and because I was holding the camera, it was so funny. And I'm like, okay, are we already recording? I mean, what's this? Whereas, when we acting, I'm used to those big lights, what, and this was totally different studio. It was just awesome for me. I liked it.
Wow. Okay.
I'll probably miss the other cast members. It's been a very fun production. Everyone enjoys what they're doing, and so it makes it a nice experience. I find motion capture interesting. Yeah, I would like to be some kind of
Okay.
The whole experience, I think, is the most enjoyable part, because it's my first feature length movie, and I think for the beginning it's pretty cool. And then it's just been fun meeting new people and adjusting to our characters on and off set, and it's just the whole experience has been fun. And I think anything I'd do again, I don't think there'd be anything, because I prefer to live in the now. That's what life's about, not the past or the future. But yeah, I think nothing's really happening.
Well, I must admit, when I heard about the film, and I heard it was animation, I was interested because I had done a little bit before. When I realized it was going to be filmed with ourselves, and they were going to capture the movement, then it became even more interesting, because it's something I've never done before, I've only heard about, and this was a challenge. And I think that was probably the most exciting part about it, was the fact that we were actually creating the characters which they were going to then animate. as they did in, what was that other film they made, the benchmark film, which they reckon has ruined filmmaking now for actors all around the world. Anyway, it's also science fiction really, and that's the first time where they used actual actors and then changed or painted their images from the film that they'd recorded. So this I think has been the most interesting, most novel part of this experience for me. Something I've never.
Yeah, well, I'll say I enjoyed it from the rehearsals when you're trying to learn about your character, trying to get into your character, and make sure that every time you have to do it over and over again, you now know it's now become a part of you, and learning about other characters, and yeah, okay, I wish maybe if I'm to do it again, like to really know the lines of hair would really help as well.
Amazing. I feel it's the most amazing thing that I'd like to do and that I've done. So to me it came up as an opportunity of a lifetime. Animation, I've never thought of myself doing animation, and it's quite an experience. The whole process, when I was like looking at the pictures, the drawings, it's something new. I think it's something really interesting that I can say.
And if they could change anything, what would they change?
Difficult. Yeah, I think we spent a lot of time, or we appear to have spent a lot of time in recording our voices. I'm not sure why. I think that's to help the director more than anything else. I'm not sure about, but just doing the lines, of course, repeating the lines is helping the actors, helping them find their characters. When it comes to, I'm not quite sure how it's going to be done in the film, but I assume it will be live voices. In other words, there will be boom mics or something like that recording our voices. And maybe then we'll go back to the studio and put in stuff which couldn't be heard, or the balance of sound was wrong or something like that, so it can be adjusted. That to me seems to be the biggest problem at the moment.
Okay.
Recording of the sound.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think I'd do it differently. I think obviously the only disadvantage is that so many of us have so many other things that we're doing that are going on, so it's had to stretch over a longer period of time. So it's, at least for me, it's Monday to Friday I'm at school, so I'm doing something different, and then Saturday I have to do something else. So I think maybe only the timing, the time scale, but I think that would only then be working more so to my advantage, that if it was done at a time when I didn't have school to focus on, that would have probably helped a lot.
Alright, on the experiences that I experienced during the making of the movie, it was something else because, I never did animation before. So it was a whole new experience, doing your voices, only thing. And I really liked the cast, experienced cast that we had. And also I enjoyed, the atmosphere, being at the studio, so it's something like, enjoying myself, just a few things that I did. I didn't have any stress in doing this. Yeah.
Differently after making of the film. If I had more time, I would have to develop my character as Zenon. Yeah, my voice, and today I was doing motion capturing. Yeah, I would love to add some more detail, but just didn't have the time.
Not really, because the mistakes are what help you to get better at it. So changing anything would change how the end result would be. So I suppose making mistakes, the end result would make me a better actor. But if everything was picture perfect, I wouldn't leave learning anything.
Okay, getting together, at first, it was a little bit harsh and hard because we are from different backgrounds and we're from different families. But, somehow, we just kind of connected and we acted like one family. I don't remember a scene or a time whereby we kind of argued with our workers, our workmates. So, yeah, I pretty much learned a lot, and I actually liked it because, I'm seriously going to miss it, in the end, but...
I like doing voices. That was fun. I'd like to do that again. And I found it really interesting getting into the cat suit and dressing up. Yeah, that was...
It's been a good experience. It really has. I think especially when I came at first, generally, I don't want to say an antisocial person, maybe just a bit shy. So the fact that I didn't know majority of the people that were there at first, I tended to keep to myself. But I think when you really get to know people, it becomes the whole process of making the movie becomes very enjoyable. Spending time with people and even just getting to know the actors out of the acting and like really getting to know what they do outside of that. It's really good just to get to know people's views. I think to a certain extent, being bullied by Aiden, as annoying as it could be at times, it was actually really fun. I think it's something that I actually leave this place and actually remember like the turmoil I've had to go through in like one day. It's memorable. It's been memorable.
Well, the making, meeting different people, the rehearsals, the laughs.
If I'm to do it again, to be honest with you, I don't think there's anything that I would change. Probably I would maybe add more lines to myself. You know, it is like with the actors, you always want, the bigger shares, but I'm totally cool with everything that went down. So
the issue I think I'll miss most is when I first came and the characters were there the first time and they were very energetic. Positive about what's really happening, type of thing. So I think I'll miss that again, but now we're not going to get that part again, is that we're not getting guys who now understand what they do.
Well, this interview is kind of cool. I enjoy this. This is like something totally new. On the side of film that I do. I mean, that's quite interesting. A lot of the stuff I'm doing right now, I'm doing for the first time. So that in itself is quite an exciting experience. And as usual, it's the experience of meeting new people every time you're on a different production. I always like to do things that add on to my networking skills.
Oh, so you actually have enjoyed meeting young Platinum?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's right next to you. Young Platinum. Well, nice to meet you, man. How old are you?
13.
Wow, yeah, that's Young Platinum. Yeah. I enjoyed meeting new people. I enjoyed meeting Mr. Sadomba standing behind me.
Okay. Wow, the whole experience is great, but I enjoyed lunch. So I'll have to have more lunch. Once.
More to come on the making of Elements Genesis as we take a break. We'll be right back.
Copper never taught you. It is an ability existing in younger transide elementals, which fades with time. Even I cannot do it as well as I used to.
What are you going on about?
Welcome back. You're watching the making of Elements Genesis Meet the Cast. Well, I can make you on a lighter note.
Oh, sorry.
Would the cast want a sequel or a prequel to the film?
Oh, it'd be lovely if it did. I mean, my character's already dead, so it doesn't really affect me. But if I could play another character, an evil character, then that would be fun. But yes, I think if this film makes the impact we hope it will do with the audiences here in Zimbabwe and internationally, then obviously it would be nice to have a sequel.
Okay.
I don't know how we can go to a prequel because this predates the Big Bang. So what comes before that? That's up to the scriptwriter. That's up to Kazai to work it out.
I think this film deserves both because this film is about an empire that already exists. It would be interesting to understand how that empire was created. The backstory to all of it. That would be interesting. And I think the fact that there are so many young characters in this makes you interested to know how they'll turn out when they grow up. When they're now the ones who are in charge, who are the leaders, what will they become? So I think both ways.
Okay.
I'll say a sequel. Yes. Because I think people will be looking forward to know what happens to Kuprum, you know, and yeah, the drama folds in.
Okay.
I'll say I would like to have it as a prequel.
Okay.
Yes.
And what would you
I like a sequel because a sequel is progress. Like, let's say you do it as part 2, you can bring it to 2011. So it is like it can move like concurrently with the developments of the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, personally, I would like a prequel to be done. Oh, no, a sequel to be done, because a prequel could be kind of complicated to go back, you know, and because you know it's for continuity purposes and also for because the film ends with a bit of suspense, and you know we need to continue from that point. You know, we need to go further. So I think a sequel would be best for this film, and also it will really help, you know, to the fans will be asking for more definitely. So a prequel would be sequel would be.
Sequel or prequel? I would say I would want it to have a sequel. Sequel. Yes.
Okay.
Because there can be a new generation of Sicilians.
Okay. I prefer prequel. I think it should be sound different. We don't really get that much. So.
Definitely. I mean, why not? You know, even at this point, I ask myself and I ask Kudzi most of the times, okay, so, I mean, what really did you look at when you wrote this script? I mean, aren't there like other parts whereby, you know, when the guys were still young, and how is it going to be when it's all, you know? So, yeah, definitely I would want to see more of that and to be together again.
Okay. Well, I think I want a sequel. Because so much has happened. So, and I think second chances for everyone. So I think it would be a good thing to see what happens after.
I think I would like both.
No.
Yeah, because sometimes it's important to know where things are coming from, you know, and why they got there, and then sometimes to know why it's there. So I think both.
I think that would be pretty cool, but we can't just think about that. I think it depends on whether that's the movie's successful or anything. But you know, like if people then look at me and say, "Hey, that's the guy," I think it would be cool to have a sequel, because then you know they won't forget about it. They'll remember, "Hey, he was in number 2 and in number 1." You know, it would be cool.
I would leave it at that. I believe that if it's a feature film like this, it's just satisfying as it is.
Okay.
If there are any future productions, I would rather have totally different story, totally different characters, different names, and whatever.
I think that would be good. That would be good. I think with Elements Genesis, the thing is that it starts at a point whereby things have happened, and it ends at a point when things will happen. So I think it would be good to have either a sequel or a prequel, just to, like, you know, get people to know what happened previously, or at least what's going to happen after, because it does leave people wanting more, especially at the end.
Okay.
Yes, I would love to do the whole thing all over again. Let's have a sequel and a prequel. I would completely love that, because I guess I've loved the whole learning curve. A lot of us, I mean, this is the first animated film in Zimbabwe, so for a lot of us it's been a learning curve. We've learned a lot of new stuff together. I loved doing the motion capture. That's something that I've never encountered before, so that's been exciting. And just meeting young people with a lot of energy and exciting.
Any final thoughts about the film?
Well, I would advise that, for example, most of the students, they can learn more about the elements and how they function, especially for the syllabuses like in school, A levels, O levels,
I think it's going to be good. I think it's something people definitely need to watch. It's, at least to my knowledge, is the first animation that Zimbabwe has made of this sort, and I think it's something that people should watch because obviously you're not expecting it to be perfect, but because it's a starting point, that is very important that people get to watch that and build up on it.
I think they should expect a very good story with interesting characters, lots of action sequences, a couple plot twists. I think it's a film that has everything for everyone. There's even a bit of romance, so anyone who likes movies should be able to like this movie.
I'll say that it's the most amazing production that I've ever heard of, and I am sure it'll do great.
The best ever from Africa.
Definitely, they should expect fireworks, because it's going down. It's the first 3D movie, done. So something different, a new flavor, a new quality, quality assured, and also the cast, the voices, the talent that we possess right now is immense, and so the public is going to love this. They're going to enjoy this for a long, long time.
All right.
Everything that makes a movie, betrayal, love, laughs, yeah, everything.
Okay, thank you very much, yeah.
Expect something totally different. It's never been done before in this country, and it's innovative, and it's just going to be something that's going to make people proud, and it's going to be fun, yeah.
So expect something really out of this world from Zim.
Fireworks. Fireworks. I mean, it's an action thing, cartoon, and maybe I'm wrong, but in Zim I don't think anything like that has ever been done. So, and the writer is a youngster, the actors are youngsters, so it's it's really energetic and it's really cool, and the film.
I'd say expect to be thrilled. There's a lot of action and a lot of fight scenes for those that just love action. And then the story is a good story, really. There's love, there's a bit of romance in there, so it's a good story.
It's very interesting and very different from what you usually see. So I think the story itself would be interesting, and also the animation. It's very, I can't tell you anything. But, you'll see it when you see it.
The first 3D animation film in Zimbabwe.
This about wraps it up for the making of Elements Genesis Meet the Cast. We'll leave you with the music video from LS Moto. Enjoy.
Aya, 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 aya. Ngati iwe usiku unondida dada kudai kushungurudza anokuda daindiriwe naichengeta wendinotemba naye rudo runoda akazvipira nokuti chazondida uripi ini ndobvira moto notsvaha iwe uripo moto notsvaha unisiye moto notsvaha uriya ini notsvaha moto notsvaha notsa ayao, aya, 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 ayao, taurisa, ndiziwe, zaunoda, ndikupe, unoti, taurisa, ndiziwe, zaunoda, ndikupe, taurisa, ndiziwe, zaunoda, ndikupe, unoti, taurisa, ndiziwe, zaunoda, moto nota, iwe uripo, moto nota, unisie, moto nota, uria hidi nota, moto nota, nota, moto nota, iwe uripo, moto nota, unisie, moto nota, uria hidi nota, moto nota, 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 nota.